You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lanes. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's a wage. Somebody please give this brother an eye. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin, excited to be here. I see everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming in. A little bit of a time difference today. I got some things to handle around 8 o'clock, so didn't have time to do a show then, but I wanted to pop on here just for a little bit, share a couple things that went down today, and dive into the Indiana stuff just a little bit. But before we get doing that, you guys have been absolutely killing it with supporting my Buckeye Boys channel. I really appreciate that. The subscriptions are skyrocketing. Please keep doing that, man. Everything that gets poured into that Buckeye Boys channel gets poured right back out to y'all. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. And super chats are open. If you're watching me on Scoop, the message board is absolutely on fire. You guys got to get over there. If you're not subscribed to the message board, the helping technician put another nugget out today on the website about the Indiana offensive game plan. On Thursday on the board, we talked about Scum and Ohio State being worried about the cheating that essentially occurred, and Ryan Day gave a little bit of insight on that today. And we're going to dive into that just a little bit. I keep wanting to move on, and I keep wanting to dive into this Indiana Big Ten title game. And I can't make any promises because things keep popping up. I keep having conversations. And also, Ryan Day in his press conference today said something very interesting. So I want to dive into that, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's dive into it, man. I'm going to pull this up first, right? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch, shout out Intrinsic, dude on X. Dude's the boss out there. You guys need to follow him if you are not following him. Here is a little clip from the press conference today.
Yeah, we lost communication there in the second half. But the good news was that earlier that week, I thought there may be an inkling that may happen. So we had a plan for it. We had a wristband plan, and then we would bring Julian over. We had a wristband plan, and then we would bring that may happen. So we had a plan for it. I thought there may be an inkling that may happen. I thought there may be an inkling that may happen. So we had a plan for it. We had a wristband plan, and then we would bring Julian over, and I was just getting us through it until we get the headsets back up and running, which took a little while to get done. But yeah, just by chance, we had a plan for it, and so we were ready to go when it happened.
Just by chance, we had a plan for it and ready to go when that happened. I had an inkling that this might occur. I mean, you just cannot make this stuff up. I wrote an article on the Scoop message board on Thursday describing essentially Ohio State's worry about the potential for this to happen. Somebody went on in that press conference to ask him, hey, what do you mean about inkling? And Ryan Day just said, hey, you got to be prepared for anything. But to me, you could just kind of tell, I feel like he wanted to say more there. And it kind of begs the question here. If the head coach of the Buckeyes, Ryan Day, is bringing up that he had an inkling that this was going to occur in the first place, where would that inkling possibly come from? There are rumblings. There are people talking, saying that possibly this stemmed from the players, right? That possibly somebody on the Michigan side, overheard somebody talking about this plan that could have been implemented, and it got leaked out into the players, and that's where this occurred. I'm diving deeper into this, trying to figure it out. Yes, I know. We smashed them on the field. It's time to move on. Come on, Devin. Why aren't you moving on? Because, man, this stuff is very intriguing to me, and it blows my mind that these cats are still up to this, trying to pull stunts like this. And justice was not served from the first time they did it. We just had to serve them justice on the field. So we'll wait and see. Again, just to reiterate, Ohio State was concerned about this before the game started. They had a plan in place. They had the wristbands, the same wristband technique that who was it? TCU, that TCU used when they knew Michigan was stealing signals and cheating, and they absolutely blew Michigan out in the playoffs. So all this stuff is not a coincidence that this is going on. Michigan still up to their cheating ways. There's some loose lips in Michigan somewhere. This was planned. This was thought out. This was done on purpose. Hey, if we get down by too much, let's get this dude to go over there, cut their comms. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm convinced of. And again, I expect something to come from this. I expect some type of report to be released from all this stuff that's being talked about, but we'll find out. Who the heck knows? The Big Ten, I'm sure, is going to get involved in this and do some looking. We could get a report tomorrow that says, hey, investigation was taking place and weather knocked the comms out. That's the thing that sucks about this is, man, I'm not sure you're ever going to, find out the actual truth. We never have found out the actual truth from before. We found out enough for me. But anyway, cheaters, always cheaters. We'll see what comes of this. But Buckeyes, yo, it's time, man. It's time. Let me ask you guys in the chat. Are you nervous about the Indiana game? Just a yes or no. Are you nervous about the Indiana game? I'm trying to process through my thought process there. I'm not nervous about it. I'm pumped about it. I love it. I love that we're going to face a team like this, a team that Sig last year said Google me, had a lot of talk about. But more importantly, guys, have you seen these Indiana fans talking? I mean, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. They are absolutely losing their minds. I wish I would have pulled the clip up beforehand. I'm going to have it for tomorrow. An Indiana show, some people on there got on talking about Ohio State fans think that they are God's gift to college football. They are nowhere near programs like Georgia and Alabama and Notre Dame, and we think Indiana is going to be God's gift to college football coming up. Ohio State fans are so annoying when they do the OH and all that stuff, and it just seems that they just didn't learn from last year's game. They just didn't learn from last year's game. I see a lot of people in the chat putting no. You haven't. Oh, you're answering no to the nervous question. Let me ask you, what has been your guys' interactions with Indiana fans? Tell me. Just put good or bad in the chat. Your interactions with Indiana fans, good or bad. Now, Indiana, we're talking about Indiana football, right? They've been relevant for not even 2 years now. Not even 2 years. And they are already talking about this. I mean, like they are just sitting at the top in the king seat of college football. The thing is that we saw something similar last year, did we not? Right? Even last year, I mean, coming in, I questioned whether they could hold up physically against the opponents or against Ohio State, against these Buckeyes. And I question the same thing this year. I do think Indiana, very good football team, coached extremely well, has some very good sorry, yeah, you got me, Android 6. That's a good one. Indiana has Indiana has football fans. Never met any. Hey, they're coming out of the woodwork. I'm telling you right now, they're coming out of the woodwork. They're going to keep coming out of the woodwork. It's kind of crazy. But last year, we know the result of that game. Who's this? Who's this calm down little bro? You'll see. Dennis Doyle, thanks for joining the show, brother. I'm not following you on this. I feel like I want to take that personally. Not really. I don't really take anything personally that you got to say in the chat. Is this a Hoosiers fan? Is Dennis Doyle a Hoosiers fan? This would be great. I hope you are, Dennis, because I got some questions for you. Anyway, we'll see if he responds in the chat. He keeps saying calm down. Who's he telling to calm down? I'll never calm down about Ohio State football. We rocking and rolling, man. Anyway, want to dive into this because when you compare, he said, take it personal, little bro. Yes, I love it. Yes, Dennis. Okay, confirmed Indiana fan. Dennis, please tell me, what is your confidence level that Indiana is going to win this football game? Tell me. I can't wait to hear this. Please put it in the chat. Please tell me it's 95% or more. I hope it is. I had a similar, I had another fan on the show from another team, the last team we played, who was 95% confident that his team was going to win the game. He's a Michigan troll. Yeah, go figure. Dennis, appreciate you. Keep chatting. Keep saying mean things to me. Please. I love it. I soak it in. I'm making this show about you now, brother. Lil bruh. Lil dude. Anyway, back to football, guys. You compare these teams. You look at Indiana. They have been putting the whooping to a lot of teams this year. And they've also come up against some competition where it didn't look, they didn't look the best. They played Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois. They beat 63-10. They get up against Iowa. They beat Iowa 20-15. In that game, Iowa had 192 passing yards, 92 rushing yards. Indiana had 233 passing yards, 104 rushing yards. Mendoza in the Iowa game was 13 for 23, threw for 2 touchdowns, and also threw an interception. Pay attention to that. Also threw an interception. Then Indiana plays Oregon, which this is their best win of the year. A lot of people super high on Oregon. I watched that game, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was surprised that Indiana's defensive line was mauling Oregon's offensive line. In that game, Oregon had 186 yards passing, 81 rushing yards. They only had 81 rushing yards. Indiana had 215 yards passing with 111 rushing yards. Mendoza in that game was 20 for 31 with 215 yards. He had 1 touchdown, and he also had an interception, another interception. Then they play Michigan State 13-38. I do believe that game was a little bit closer than we anticipated by halftime, but that happens. Then they play UCLA 56-6. You see all these scores. Indiana Sig, man, he has went all out every single game, tried to score as many points as possible. Like, it's very obvious. The dude plays his starters the entire time, goes all out, but still a very good football team. Let's get back to what we were talking about here. Okay, then they played Indiana 55-10. Then they played Penn State, right? The same Penn State team that the Buckeyes played. In the Penn State game, Penn State passed for 219 yards. Passed for 219 yards with a true freshman quarterback that we played and didn't look so hot against the Buckeyes. They also rushed for 117 yards. They outgained Indiana passing and rushing in this game. Indiana passed for 218 yards, 108 rushing yards. And I believe this was, this was Mendoza's Heisman moment. This was his Heisman moment. This was when he really came on the national scene a lot more than he already was. I'm calculating something up here. The dude threw for a 63% completion percentage in the game. He was 19 for 30 with 1 touchdown at the very last second of the game. threw a bad pass to a really good wide receiver who jumped up, made an extraordinary catch, got his foot in bounds. He had one touchdown throw and one interception on the game. So there's kind of who they've went up against, the things that they have done. It's really hard to. Here's what you can't do. Last year, for instance, the Buckeyes went in Nebraska, barely beat Nebraska. The week before that, Indiana goes into Nebraska, obliterates them. A lot of people were bringing that talking point up when Indiana came into the horseshoe. Everybody wanted to talk about that. Everybody wanted to bring that up in terms of, hey, watch out for this Indiana team. They just smashed Nebraska. Ohio State struggled immensely. Well, this year, you see how Ohio State's been operating the lowest pace of play in the country, averaging like 61 plays per game. And you see, Julian Sand before the Scum game threw 25 total passes in the second half in the entire season. In the second half football games, 25 total passes before the Scum game. So that kind of tells you how Ohio State and Ryan Day have been operating their offense throughout this season. And you look at Indiana, they've been full tilt, full force. Again, very good football team. But you look at third down offense, these teams, listen to these statistical ratings back and forth. Third down offense, Ohio State's number 1, Indiana's number 2. Third down defense, Ohio State's number 3, Indiana's number 4. Completion percentage, Ohio State, number 1, of course. Julian Sand broke Bo Nix's all-time completion percentage in a regular season. Shout out Julian Sand. Should win the Heisman, should be the Heisman winner. This game, I'm going to determine that, man. We're going to find out who the Heisman winner is going to be, in my opinion. And we're going to find out. Indiana, number 4, completion percentage. First down defense, we're number 2. They're number 27 on first down defense. First down offense, we're number 20. They're number 59. Passing offense, we're the number 24 passing offense in the nation, averaging 267 passing yards per game. They are number 40, averaging 254. Passing defense, we're number 1. They have the number 14 passing defense in the nation. They do have a really good corner on the team who I do believe is going to play in the NFL. And again, going to do a way bigger breakdown of these two opponents. Tomorrow night, I'm going to have Dalton Wasserman from PFF on, and we're going to go down both each position group of every single team. And you know what PFF does with their stats. So he's going to have stats galore, and we're going to break down each individual group of players, position group, and see who has the advantage in each one. Where was I at? Red zone defense, we're number 1. They're number 61. Their red zone defense, number 61 in the nation, hasn't been the best this year. Red zone offense, we're number 30. They're number 17. Man, that's the one area of this team that I'm hoping in this Big Ten title game in the playoffs that these Buckeyes change up how they operate in the red zone. These big-time 14 personnel, heavy packages. But I did like bringing Caden McDonald in as the fullback in that one play, but still, everybody knows, right, what we're going to do there. And you just can't take JJ and Cornell off the field in that moment. You just can't do it. I do have faith the coaching staff is going to do that. Rushing defense, we're number 4. We allow 81 yards rushing per game. They're number 2. They allow 79. So both teams really, really good at stopping the run. Rushing offense, we're number 53. They're number 9. They've been a really good rushing offense. But as I told you, Penn State, they only rushed for 108 yards. Oregon, they only rushed for 111. And Iowa, they only rushed for 104. So in those other games that they've played throughout the year, they've really boosted their rushing stats quite a bit, but still a good team in that regard. Sacks allowed. We're number 2. They're number 19. We give up about a half a sack a game, a little less than that. They give up about a sack and a quarter a game. So last year, if you remember, Ohio State versus Indiana, one of the I think key things about the game, why Ohio State dominated so much, was our defensive line against their offensive line. I can't remember how many sacks we had that game. I'm actually going to pull it up. Ohio State versus Indiana, 2024. 38-15. That's a good reminder. Let's go to player stats. Let's go to Ohio State. Sacks, 2.5, 1.5. That equals 4, 5. All right. So we had 5 sacks in that game last year, but our defensive line overwhelmed. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's something I'm really looking at in this game. I personally believe their offensive line, they have a really good tackle in Carter Smith from Ohio. Pretty good tackle. But I think this defensive line, our defensive line, is going to do some damage to this team. I expect pressure to be picked up quite a bit. Didn't really see it in the scum game, but didn't really need to do it. Didn't really need to bring out a bunch of different pressure. All we needed to do was make Bryce Underwear actually play quarterback, as Caden Curry said, and he didn't do that very good. Tackles for loss allowed, we're number 4 in the nation. They're number 1. Total defense, we're number 1. They're number 4. We give up 203 yards per game. And this is how, listen how big of a difference these defenses are. Ohio State, I mean, just from number 1 to number 4, Indiana's number 4, giving up 252 yards of offense per game. So we give up 50 less yards per game, and they're still number 4. That's how dominant this Buckeyes defense have been this year compared to every other defense in the nation. There's a 50-yard gap. Normally, there's like, when you look at, 6th, 7th, and 8th defense in the nation, there's normally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards difference between them. But we'll see. Total offense, we're number 24. And they're number 5. So you look at this. This is obviously the best team that these Buckeyes are going to play all year. Fernando Mendoza is a very good quarterback. I'm not quite sure he's as good as what he thinks, because when asked about what it's going to be like going up against Julian Sain in a recent interview, he said it kind of reminds me of Tom Brady going up against Ed Reed. I believe that's what he said. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think that's what he said. I feel the Caleb Downs, Ed Reed, comparison there, but Fernando to Tom Brady, I don't know. Very good quarterback. He likes to talk a lot, man. He likes to talk a lot. I'm going to save a lot of my comments for a later game. But guys, this is an exciting game. I got a question for you guys. The Buckeyes coming off this game, rivalry game against Michigan, we know the amount of emotion that was put into this game. We know everything that this team has been through with this game. So I got to ask you guys, is there any part of us Ohio State fans, any part of you guys in the chat that are a little bit worried about that, worried about how that's going to affect these Buckeyes coming out, how hungry they're going to stay? Coming off, just won a national title, just obliterated their rival. They've got to keep that hunger. Now, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but I do think it's something that needs to be addressed, and I do think the coaching staff is well aware of it, because, when it builds up all season long, you get to the rivalry game, you just feel like you had so much success there. This team come out 27-9, dominated them. It's just like, all right, now we got to move on to the Big Ten title game, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't mean much, right, to some fans, to Football Nation. I mean, the Buckeyes, the loser of this game, this is 1 versus 2. I think this is the first time this has happened since, I forget when it was 1 versus 2, Michigan. But the Big Ten has the number 1, number 2 team in the nation. Whoever loses still going to be in the top 4, still getting a bye, the whole ordeal there. But when you hear Ryan Day talk, I mean, when he brings up the reasons why this game is important, it's simply because it's a goal that this team has. And this team has played extremely hungry this year. It's been a long time since we've been in Indianapolis. We didn't win it last year. Ryan Day's got a lot of check marks checked off on his coaching career here recently with the national title, beating scum. Now it's the Big Ten title game. Now we got to go in and do this. So I think Ryan Day is going to get this team turned up, ready to play this ball game, and I'm excited. Chat, give me one player on offense for the Buckeyes that you want to see step up and have a bigger impact than they've been having in this Indiana game, and same on offense? I'll go with mine. In this Indiana game, I'm really looking for Max Clare to have an even bigger impact than he's been having. What did he have in the Scum game? I didn't even see that. I'll figure it out real fast, though. Max Clare, 3 catches for 20 yards. That's right. Max Clare has one. I would love to see either like Isaiah West or one of these running backs pick up a lot of momentum as well. But honestly, it's really hard to talk about this when this offense is coming off the best game that they played all season in the Big Blouse. On defense, man, Jalen McLean has been holding down his own. Let me back up. On defense, one of the players who I don't know why it's not getting talked about near enough on defense for these Buckeyes is Tywan Malone, guys. Tywan Malone Jr. is blowing people up right now, and he's had several games like that. I know you guys have heard me say that already, so I just wanted to mention that again. But in this game, I'm looking for Jalen McLean to step up, have some big-time defensive plays. At the beginning of the year, I feel like he was playing at a very, very high level. And he's not playing bad by any means, but I saw him playing at a really high level and was thinking, oh my gosh, where's this dude going to get to in this season? Only in his sophomore season playing for the Buckeyes as safety besides Caleb Downs is, absolutely great. And he played great in the Scum game as well. But I just feel a game coming on for him. I just feel big time hit, an interception, something like that going on. So I'm excited. I think everybody on these Buckeyes, let's wait and see if there's any health reports coming out. I can't wait before the day before the game, 2 days before the game. I promise you guys, Twitter is going to come out with a star Ohio State player that's going to be questionable. It's going to happen. Be prepared for it, Buckeye fans. Get ready. Tomorrow's signing day. Got a few updates there. Caden Dixon-Wyatt still feeling the same way that I am. Still praying for a miracle that the Buckeyes can hold on to him. Chris Henry Jr., my worry is going down a lot there. Still feel like he's going to be a Buckeye. Jaquaden Guilford with LSU, still feel like he's going to be a Buckeye. Who is the wide receiver that just took a visit? Got too many names in my head, man. Jaden Ricketts, that's right. Ohio State. Buckeyes aren't too concerned there. He did take a visit to West Virginia, but still feeling good there. So I'm going to go down through this list here. Kari Wilder's a Buckeye. Chris Henry Jr., I feel like we're good there. Jay Timmons, Buckeye. Sam Greer, Buckeye. Sincere Johnson, Buckeye. Blaine Bradford put out his graphic as well. He's a Buckeye. There's been a lot of, people talk about, well, it looks like the articles for Con 3 have been true about Caden Dixon-Wyatt. Well, what about all the articles they put out about Blaine Bradford? Dude's locked in, Buckeyes. Jordan Thomas locked in. Jaquaden Guilford being told locked in. Caden Dixon-Wyatt, that's the one. That's got my feelings hurt, man. Got pretty close to them guys, but it's still looking like he's going to go the other way to USC. Max Riley, we're good there. Simeon Caldwell, good there. Legend Bay, good there. Damari Simeon, who's a baller, absolutely good there. Emmanuel Ruffin, favorite key. CJ Sana, Dre Quinn, who also recently committed, put his graphic out. Jaden Ricketts took the visit to West Virginia, but I'm being told the Buckeyes aren't too concerned there. Kamari Bing, Buckeye. Braxton Rembrandt, guys, I spoke to him for a good little while a couple weeks back, asked him a lot of questions. I'm getting an article typed up about Braxton Rembrandt. Really, really cool story, really intriguing player, and potentially going to turn into a pretty big-time player for the Buckeyes. I could see him potentially being a very impactful player, being one of the fan favorites here. I really like talking to him. So I'll get an article typed up. Go over to Scoop Message Board. Get on that if you guys want some inside info on who Braxton Rembrandt is. The Wake Forest flip to the Buckeyes linebacker. The dude has a lot of talent. Darius McKinley sticking with the Buckeyes there. Everybody was worried. Lane Kiffin, the LSU. What's going to happen there? Luke Fahey's a Buckeye. Tucker Smith, very underrated offensive lineman in this class out of Arizona. He put out his graphic too. Dude's a Buckeye. Nick Latar. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody so excited to become a Buckeye. I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but dude's a Buckeye. Brock Boyd, locked in as all get out. I still laugh at seeing him as the 609th prospect in the nation. I do not know what's wrong with people, guys. I really don't. But Brock Boyd, I promise you, they have him ranked as the 90th wide receiver in the nation. I believe he was the leading receiver in the state of Texas. I might be off there. Jameer Perez, my dude Jameer. What's up, Jameer? Keep an eye on this one. Developmental player, 6'4", 330 pounds. Been on the show several times. Great personality, great individual. Watch out. Landry Breed, Mason Wilhelm, all Buckeyes. So, Chris Henry Jr. is one people are going to be keeping an eye on. Caden Dixon-Wyatt, I expect he's gone to USC. But you never know. You can't really count out Brian Hartline. You just can't do it. But I was told that's done already. But we'll see. Jaquaden Guilford, I'm not worried there. So I think these Buckeyes got this locked down pretty good. And yes, Russ, thank you. Caden Gibhart, I believe he plays with CJ Sauna. Don't they play on the same team? Looking like he's going to become a Buckeye. Don't know if he's going to remain a safety, if he's going to go to linebacker. But, I mean, dude is very, very good. And a lot of people asking about flips. Do I expect these Buckeyes to flip anybody in this class on signing day? So I know of two that the Buckeyes are in contact with, really pushing for. CJ Borno is one of them. A lot of people, I predicted him to the Buckeyes way, way early in this process. When the Buckeyes first started contacting him, I reached out to somebody who said, hey, this got to be a perfect fit. Loves the Buckeyes. Florida just hired a new coach, really trying hard to keep him in the class, upped their nil deal even a little bit, just came off a visit. I kind of expected him to make an announcement after that visit. Hey, I'm staying with Florida. He did not do that. He had an interview stating, hey, still haven't made a decision, going to go back, want to talk to my family. I believe his heart is in Florida, but his head is in Ohio State because he knows where to go, but likes staying there closer to his family. I think there's a girlfriend involved who goes to Florida State. At least that's what I read somewhere. So we'll see there. But the Buckeyes got their fingers in a few more places as well, and I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but we'll see if they make that happen and see if we close this down. So tomorrow, have a big-time show on this class. I'm also going to have Dalton on to go over the Big Ten title game, Indiana Hoosiers, which they're fans. I'm going to get that clip pulled up so you guys can hear the rant that they went on. I would play that in the locker room. Thank you, those two Indiana YouTubers that did that. You're probably going to regret that. And I'll give my score tomorrow, what I think the score to the game is going to be. What's the opening line, guys? Is there an opening? Let's find that. Oh, come on, computer. Spread for Ohio State, Indiana football game. Okay, 5.5. The spread is opened at 5.5. Boy, they know what they're doing, dude. That's iffy. That's iffy. 5.5. Thank you, Gio. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Captain F Nuts. I don't know, man. I've been putting the Buckeyes on the spread quite a bit. Probably going to do it again. So thank you guys for tuning in a little bit earlier tonight. Again, had a little bit of a timing conflict, but keep an eye on this another Michigan scandal, multiple ones going on. Justin Spiro's probably going to be putting out an article here soon on their soon-to-be ex-head coach. And these comms all of a sudden going out. Shout out Intrinsic for posting all these videos on there, staying up to date on everything going on there. Still in contact. If I get anything else out of this, I'll share it with you guys. Yes, I know. People keep telling me I need to stop chewing. I know, guys. I know. I appreciate it. The thing is that it's like it's become a habit for me now, especially when I'm talking football. You know what I mean? Like football with some tobacco. Yeah. I mean, that's just my thing, guys. That's just my thing. So hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. Working on stopping, but I appreciate all your guys' support. Signing day tomorrow is going to be an exciting day. Get over there on the Scoop message board. We're going to have all the updates over there. More often than not, things get posted about Ohio State recruits on Scoop message board first, and then about an hour later, it comes out nationally. So if you want to get the information a little bit earlier, head on over there. We're covering recruiting. Ohio State recruiting better than anybody in the nation. That's just the fact. If you're over there and you follow us, you know that to be true. B. Moses and Nevada are next. I know the show plans. I know what they got for you guys. Get ready. Get your popcorn. Get your chips. And sit down and be ready for an entertaining show. Those guys are awesome. Show them some love over there. Oh, we got a super chat. Sorry, I forgot. Ernie Gonzalez, thank you so much, brother, for the $4.99. So I watched the Purdue-Indiana game today. Yeah, we win. Our defense is good. Julian is better, and our O-line is way better. Ernie, I can't argue with you too much here, bud. I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. If you guys have been watching this show for a minute, you know exactly how I feel about this Indiana game. It's the same way that I felt last year when everybody was talking this team up, right? But it's hard to match up with this Buckeye talent, man. It just is, right? Most of these other teams they've beat got outcoached. Oregon got outcoached. Penn State down bad, still almost won. Iowa gave them a game. Really good coach team, play extremely hard, got some really good players. But, dude, this Buckeye team, this Buckeye team, I don't know that much else needs to be said. But, y'all, appreciate you guys for watching. Love you guys. Hit that like button on your way out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on both channels, Buckeye Scoop and Buckeye Boys. Appreciate the love. Show us some love on Apple Podcasts as well for the Scoop channel. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.